Good morning, Aggies and Buckeyes. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, and today is Earth Day. So happy Earth Day. Now, for this morning's lesson, we are going to be focusing on problem and solution in a text. Now, yesterday we read Stephanie Kolak, Inventor, and today you're going to get the opportunity to reread it. Because remember, good readers read text more than once so they can understand what's happening in the story. Now, I would like you to hit pause while you read each page one more time. I'm going to move the pages forward in just a few seconds, but please make sure you hit pause until you've finished reading. All right, so hopefully you were able to reread the text one more time. So let's get into what exactly we're focusing on this morning. And like I mentioned earlier, we are focusing on problem and solution in a text. So your goal at the end of this lesson is you will be able to identify the problem and the problem's solution in a text. So what exactly are problem and solution? Well, most problems and solutions are shown in nonfiction text. And remember, a nonfiction text is a text that has actually happened in real life. A problem is also followed by a solution. Now, a problem is what is wrong in the story, and a solution is how that problem is solved. Now, keep those things in your brain as we continue with problem and solution in the text we're reading this week. Now let's practice some problems and solutions. Now remember, I mentioned a problem has to do with what's wrong in the story and a solution has to do with how the problem is solved. Now I've given you a problem from the text, and the problem in the text is Stephanie can't afford to go to medical school. Now in that same paragraph where we see that problem where Stephanie can't afford to go to medical school, there's also a solution. Now, I'm thinking back and I don't remember exactly how the problem was solved. So a great solution to be able to solve my problem is to go back to the text and reread it. So remember, our problem is Stephanie can't afford to go to medical school. Let's head back to the text right now and see if we can solve the problem. All right, Aggies and Buckeyes, here is the page where it discusses Stephanie's problem. Now, if you remember, I had just mentioned Stephanie's problem is that she can't afford to go to medical school. I would like you to reread this page and find that problem. See if you can find the solution that's right below it. Let's see how she solved her problem of not being able to go to medical school. Hit the pause button so you can look for the solution. You guys are right. Under the heading Becoming a Chemist, it talks about Stephanie's problem. Here it is right here. With their encouragement, remember her teacher's encouragement, Stephanie studied chemistry in college. She had hoped to go on to medical school, but could not afford it. So that's the problem that we're working with right here. Now, most solutions are usually listed right underneath it, and they have some key words sometimes. And here's one of the key words in solving a solution based on a problem. The word consequently. Let's keep reading. Consequently, Stephanie took a job working at a textile lab. She planned to save up enough money from her job so that she could pay for medical school. Hopefully, you've understood that her problem is she can't afford to go to medical school. So to solve her problem, she decides to get a job at a textile lab where she saves money so she can go to medical school. Let's put that solution into our chart. All right, here we are on our chart. Now remember, our problem again was Stephanie can't afford to go to medical school, and we just read that she was able to solve her problem by getting a job at a textile lab and saving money. So we'll put the solution right here. Stephanie got a job at a textile and saved her money. Now with the money saved, remember, that's how she solved her problem. Saving her money allowed her to go to medical school. Now let's do one more example together. Now here's another problem from the story. A coworker didn't want to spin the solution fiber. Let's head back over to the text, find the problem, and see how the problem is solved. All right, boys and girls, here is a strange liquid. I would like you to hit the pause button, reread the section titled Strange Liquid, which is 2 paragraphs, and see if you can find the problem that we're looking for. And remember, the problem was back on our chart and it said a coworker didn't want to spin the solution into fiber. Hit the pause button while you look for that. When you're ready to continue, hit play. Awesome. We're in paragraph 2 where the problem is stated. Stephanie brought her strange liquid to the worker in charge of spinning liquids into fibers. He looked at Stephanie's solution and laughed. He thought it was hilarious that she believed it could be made into fiber. It looked too much like water and might even clog the spinning machine. So there is the actual problem. Stephanie takes her liquid to the worker who's in charge of spinning liquids, and he laughs at her. He tells her it's hilarious. He couldn't believe that she actually thought it would work. Now let's keep reading because the solution is usually followed underneath the problem. So here we are right here. But Stephanie kept urging him to spin it until he finally agreed. There's her solution right there. Her problem, he doesn't want to spin it, but she keeps bugging him, and he finally does it. So she convinces him to do it. Let's head back over to our text, to our chart, so we can input our solution. All right, here we are. Let's put our solution in. We know that the coworker doesn't want to spin the solution fiber, so Stephanie bugs him until he finally agrees. Stephanie convinces her coworker to do it. She's very persistent. She keeps asking him, and he's finally convinced that he will try it. All right, boys and girls, so don't forget, a problem and solution in a text. The problem has to do with what's wrong, and the solution is how the problem is solved. Usually, problem and solution are listed right next to each other in a nonfiction text. Here's what you'll be doing today. You're going to head over to Wonders, and you're going to be working on your Unit 5, Week 3 assignment, pages 223 to 225. Now, you're only going to complete Part A. You're going to skip Part B. On your screen, it says skip P. That should really be a B. So don't forget, you are skipping Part B. Head over to Wonders now and complete pages 223 to 225, Part A only. And remember, problem and solution are usually found right next to each other in a nonfiction text. Have a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow.